Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Welcome to CNC Designs. How are you? I'm just going to take care of some housekeeping and see if I can pull us up here on the page and we can get started. 1 second. Let me see if I can find us. As you come in, please stop and say hello so that I can be sure to say hello back to you. If you do not see that live button above my head, that means you are catching me on replay. In either case, please drop a hello in the comments so that I can be sure to speak back. Hello, Rosalie Perez. How are you? Let's see if I can get us up. Okay, I have us. So tonight we're going to have a quick craft. We're going to be taking this bunny and we're going to make him over. And I've gone ahead and started base coating on one side because I wanted to see how my paint was going to take to the tin. We are base coating this with Pink Cloud from Waverly. I thought about using the ballet slipper, but I don't know. Everybody uses that pink, so I said, let me use a different one. Let's see how it comes out. So we're going to not do too much. We're just going to paint it and distress it a little bit. Give it a bow, and we'll see how that works. I just had to make sure that I was on the right page because sometimes, especially on late nights, I go live on my personal page when I'm supposed to be on my business page. Hi, Felice Ward. Hello, Shelly Hutchins. How are you? So we're just taking a dauber and I am just kind of going over it like this because I want to keep that detail and I don't really want to use a brush and get a whole lot of paint in those places where there is no detail, if that makes sense. So that's why we're painting with the dauber as opposed to a paintbrush. Let me see if I got my volume down because I seem to hear, okay, an echo. So I just want to see, let you see if you can see how when you use the dauber, it has a little bit of texture into it. Hello, Lori, how are you? Thank you for watching. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you guys for hopping on. I know it's late, especially if you're on the East Coast. Doing some late night crafting tonight. I tend to go live late on Fridays just because something to do late in the evening if people are usually still up around this time. And if you're not a television watcher and you like crafts, you can hop in and join us. Hello, Miss Patterson. Hi, Jen. How are you, friend? We are broadcasting live from here on CNC Designs as well as from the Crafting Network. You can see me over there along with a bunch of other talented creators. So if you haven't followed or joined the Crafting Network, you need to make sure you do that so you can see a lot of other crafters, as well as if you are a crafter yourself and you have a business page or you go live, you might want to join the Crafting Network because you can get a lot of exposure and a lot of eyes on your business page that way. My page has grown exponentially since I have joined the Crafting Network. I really, really love being exposed to those extra over 7,000 eyeballs. How's everybody's doing? How was your day today? How's the weather where you are? As you may already know, I'm in New York. It's pretty cold here today, but you know, it's winter time. What are we gonna do? So that's our bunny so far. Now we have a couple of tight places up under here that I need to use the brush just to go in and make sure that we get those places painted. Right under his foot and his leg. So I am using the brush there because my dauber will not go under that area. Just making sure I get some paint there. Okay. Thank you for those hearts. So now we're gonna put a little bit of heat on this, and we have to be careful because this is tin and it will get hot. But I wanna dry it a little bit so that we can flip it over to the other side and paint the other side. Then we're gonna do some distressing. We're gonna put a cute little bow on it, maybe a tag. And that's gonna be pretty much it tonight, guys. Nothing crazy. I don't have a bunch of extra tricks that I wanna try out tonight, but definitely probably, again this weekend, I do have another project. There's something that I've been dying to try. I wanna try to make an angel with spackling, and I wanna see if I can hand draw it. So that should be fun. Yeah, definitely gotta come watch me do that. Hi, Mike and Tanya. Hello, Monica. Hello, Laveda. Thank you all for watching. Because if you know anything about me, you know, I mean, I think I'm pretty talented, but I can't draw. So coming to watch me hand draw an angel is gonna be funny. So if you like to laugh, you might want to come check that one out. But I'm gonna try it. I've seen a couple of people do it on YouTube, and I'm like, you know what? I've seen 2 of them already. It looks fairly easy. I think I can do it. So I'm gonna try it. Probably maybe tomorrow night. I'll see. I have a couple of appointments tomorrow. But after my appointments, if I get in early and not too late, I'll definitely go live and bring you along in on the fun. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on my business page, or I might do it in my group. So you guys might want to look at my free crafting group, because you know I'd rather be over there. It's a smaller audience. It won't be so embarrassing. People cracking up laughing at me and my horrible drawing skills. So this is what we have so far. And this is where we started. It's cute, but I just wanted to bring some color to it. I wanted to see what it would look like if I did some distressing here. And I see, oh, this does lift up. I definitely got a whole big spot right here behind this ear that we missed. So let's go in there and do something with that. And you know what? Maybe we can do the inside of this ear since we're here. This is gonna be a lot of painting. I really don't like to paint on lives because I don't think that you're learning anything by watching me do this. But if I didn't do it live, there really wouldn't be anything to the project. So you guys get to watch me paint tonight. So I'm just, again, I'm stippling because I like the fact that the stippling leaves a little bit of dimension. Now you could add something like maybe some baking soda here and bring some more texture to it. But because this bunny is so detailed, I didn't feel like I needed to add any baking soda or anything else that would bring any more texture to it. Hello, Miss Fanning. How are you, my friend? Hello, Renee. Hi, Shelly. Thank you all for joining. So I'm just gonna, I didn't give this as many coats as I did the front. This is the behind his ear, so it doesn't have to be so painted. And while we're at it, since we have him laying this way, we might as well do the inside of the other ear, right? And again, we are working with Pink Cloud from Waverly. It's, you know, it's still a pink. I didn't want to do the ballet slipper because I just feel like everybody, when they do pink and they use them and they're using Waverly paints, everybody uses ballet slipper. So I was like, you know what? Let's see what this Pink Cloud looks like. And you know what I always say, if you don't like it, you can always paint over it. So that's not an issue for me. If we really don't like the color, but so far, I'm okay with it. I'm not a color person. You guys know me. I'm really a neutral person. I thought about doing this in my Waverly plaster and making this bunny really neutral. And in fact, I do have another one of these bunnies that I might do in neutral just for myself. And this one I'll probably sell because I'm not a color person like that. I really am not. I love my color, really, in my house. My color comes from my accent colors and my throw pillows. My furniture is pretty neutral. Everything is in like the beiges, the browns, the earth tones. That's just what I like. And I add pops of colors with my throw pillows. But my daughter might like it too. She might want to take it to work. She's a teacher. She decorates her classroom for all of the holidays. So lately she's definitely been taking advantage of the fact that her mother's a crafter and she literally goes shopping. Like, let me see what you have here. I need something for this day. I need something for that day. And she thinks that, you know, it's her boutique. I'm sure if you are a creator, you probably have children and even friends who do the same thing. I have friends who come over and visit and they just like, oh, I'm going to take this, okay? And I'm like, you do know I sell those, right? It's not free. Funny, funny, funny. Mother's Day is coming up and I went the other day to go buy my daughter a birthday card. If you guys have followed me personally, you know the other day was my daughter's 25th birthday. And I'm a real big card giver. I believe in giving my kids cards and, you know, just showing them love, you know, in that way. And even with the gift, you must give a birthday card or an occasion card. So I went to the store to pick up her cake and I said, oh, let me get a card. So I went over to the card section and I, you know, reading all the cards, I did not look at the price. Got the card, went up to the register. The lady rung the card up. The card was $10.95. I said, wait, excuse me. Is that card $10.95? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, do me a favor. Take that off. I was like, no, we're not paying $10 for a birthday card. It was a pretty card. You know, it had a little like shaker box kind of thing in the front. But, you know, also when you're a crafter, you know, the first thing you say is, I can do that. And I'm like, this is not $10.95 worth of product here. I'm not paying this much for this card. And, you know, I mean, I like the sentiment, but I'm not that impressed. So I put the card back and I went to, you know, another store because I was passing another store anyway on my way home. And I got another card. But even that card was like $7. So I was just astonished at how much, you know, greeting cards cost. So, you know what that means for me, right? I'm like, okay, this year for Mother's Day, because I usually give, you know, girlfriends Mother's Day cards. And I always pick one or two of my friends' moms who are still here. And I give them a card in honor of my mom because I don't have my mom here to give a card to. So this year, we're not buying cards. I'm going to be making my own Mother's Day cards, and you guys get to come along with me to see what I come up with. And I'm going to share the idea with you, and hopefully it'll inspire you, and you can make your own cards as well, because I don't know about you guys, but I just thought that was insane, $11 for a greeting card. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I know everything is going up, but this is ridiculous. I don't know. So is it just me, or do you guys find that was reasonable? Was I overreacting? Maybe I haven't purchased one in a while. I was baffled. I was like, $11? Absolutely not. Oh, you think it's high too? Okay, Miss Bannon. So it's not just me. I was like, oh no. And the card wasn't even that big. It was like maybe a 4x6. It wasn't like it was a big jumbo card. I just really don't understand how they priced that card, but that's how much it was. So needless to say, I won't be buying Mother's Day cards this year. We will be making some. It's like, gee whiz. Almost as much as a dozen of eggs. Eggs here are like $10 a dozen. I don't know how much they are where you guys are, which is another thing I think is insane. But I'm grateful because I really don't eat eggs, so I have not been feeling the pain of that price hike because I don't eat eggs at all. And my daughter, she does eat them, so when I buy them, really, she's the only one that's eating them. So we don't run through them a lot. But I can imagine, having, especially, sons or somebody, males in your house that eat a lot. Imagine somebody who eats 3 and 4 eggs for breakfast at $10 a dozen. Dollar Tree has some nice ones, and even the dollar store, that's not too expensive. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try because I'm not giving anybody $10 for a greeting card. And then too, not to say that people aren't appreciative, but a lot of people don't keep greeting cards. So can you imagine spending $11 for a card for someone, and then, after their birthday is over, it may stay in the house for about a month or so, but eventually they throw them away. A lot of people don't keep them. I personally keep them. My children, my daughter does as well, but a lot of people don't keep those things in their house. They get rid of it. It's like, yeah, no. So this bunny is coming along nicely. We're going to put another coat on him, though. But I like the color. I do still see a little bit of silver peeping through there, which is why we're going to go in with that second coat. Yeah, I've seen cards in Dollar Tree. Honestly, I never really stopped to read any of them. I think the next time I go in there, I might do that because now that I know how much they cost in the other stores, it might be worth me looking at the Dollar Tree greeting cards. And I mean, and by no means am I saying that, anybody's artistry should be cheap. As a creator, I don't have a problem paying $5, $6 for a card, especially if it's one that I really like. I've just never purchased an $11 greeting card in my life. Still under 5. Black shoe bubbles. Oh, eggs! Wow. Wow. Well, honey, they are, I think it's $9.99 is what I saw when I was in the store earlier today. And then I was thinking, to myself, I said, imagine coming in the store and spending $10 for a dozen of eggs, and you get home and the eggs are broken. I would have a fit. Hi, Tina. How are you? Thank you for joining. And that is precious cargo now, eggs. Who knew that we would ever get to this point? There are places here in New York that actually sell the eggs singularly. Because, the truth of the matter is some people can't afford $10 for a dozen of eggs. Especially if you got a couple of kids, a couple of family members that you're feeding. It could really add up. And I was like, people are selling single eggs. I guess you live long enough, you see everything. Wow, you get them fresh. Awesome. For $4. No such luck over here. Yeah, I like this color. I wasn't sure how I would like it, but it's coming out pretty good. I don't care. I gotta do something else for that ear. He looks like he needs something else here. And I guess it's because it's tin. It just feels like it's eating up a lot of paint for me. And I really want this to cover, so we are going to take the time to apply the coats to make sure that it covers it. Even though we're gonna do, you know, put some Distress inks over it, I don't want to see too much of that silver. It's a cute bunny, and I was definitely attracted to the detail in it. Definitely was interested in seeing what would it do if I put some sprays over top of it, or if I use some of the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. But the paint, you know, the more I put it on, I feel like it is taking some of that detail. It's muting it to me. I think we're going to leave it at this. I don't think I'm going to add any more coats, simply because we are going to add the oxides. So if there are some little spaces that are still exposed, I think we can cover that. Hi Deborah, how are you? Hello Catherine, how are you? Thank you for joining us. And again, like I said, because this is tin, you definitely have to be careful with this heat on it. You don't want to burn yourself. But I do want to get a decent dry so that we can continue to create with it. I'm just looking at the insides of these ears. I put my brush back in there too soon. Okay. Just gonna go over it once more, since we got a little bit of paint here on the inside of these ears. What'd you guys eat tonight? What, did anybody cook? Eat out? What'd you do? $4 a dozen from a rancher. You know, I've never eaten an egg like from a ranch, or you know, from a farm. Do they taste any different, Miss Fanning? I'm just wondering, because you know, in the supermarket, I know they have to do all kinds of stuff to preserve foods. I don't know what they could do to preserve an egg, but just wondering, like, if there's a difference in the taste. Yeah, cereal for supper. Oh, I'm sorry about the stomach issues, but I can definitely relate to the cereal for supper. There's many days when I will eat breakfast for dinner. I'll come in and make me some pancakes or some waffles for dinner. Okay, so here is our bunny. I do like the color. And now you guys know me, I like to play around with stuff. I like to experiment. So we're gonna experiment a little bit with this bunny. I don't really know how this is gonna come out, but we'll see. I'm gonna take you along on the ride with me. And we're gonna use some sprays on it and see what happens. We're gonna put some Vintage Photo And this is Distress Oxide Spray. Let me see what other color I have here. I have Antique Linen. Let's try that first. As Vintage Photo, I think, is a little bit darker. So I'm gonna spritz it on, and I always have my water next to me just in case it's too dark. I can wipe some back, and I have a wipe as well as some paper towels. So we'll see how that goes. You may not need to, because this is a little bit lighter, we may not need to add any water. So again, I just like to kind of let it go around and land where it wants. And if it's too much in some areas, if it's puddling, I just tend to like give it a little dab. But you can see how it is beginning to age it a little bit. I think I don't know if I want to go a little bit darker. Again, I'm just playing. The good thing about it is if you don't like it, always remember you can just water it down, start all over, paint over it. Nothing is permanent. So I'm just letting this run all over this bunny. And I don't like it to puddle up so much in areas, so I am wiping it back a little bit. I am liking the way it's landing in the details of the bunny. That I like. So we're gonna keep playing around with it, see what we come up with. We're gonna wipe it back a little bit with the wipe, see what that does. If it takes too much off, we can always put some back. I really, really like this. Let's get a little bit up here. Some in that ear. Again, I'm going to just spritz it with a little bit of water to let it run. Make it move a little bit easier. You could also do this with gesso. You can take some white gesso, mix some pink paint, and paint the bunny. And then you won't have to use the water because the gesso will let the spray move the same way the water did. It won't stick to the paint, is what I'm trying to say, if you gessoed it. Thank you, Miss Fanny. I'll do one a little bit more down here. This is messy, so definitely if you don't like messes, that you might not want to mess with these sprays because there's nothing clean about it, as you can see. So that's what we have so far on that side, and I like that. I like that tone in it. It's giving it some depth. It doesn't look so flat like this side. So that there you can really see the difference and why I like to do that, or why I choose to do that. Now this ear, I'm gonna give it a little spritz once more. We're definitely gonna go in with some of our stamp pads and define that a little bit more. I'm just trying to give it some time to settle down into the design. And I am a bit impatient. Probably if I just let it dry a little bit more, and not wiping it back, I probably could get it to settle in those recesses even more. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Jody. But yeah, it's definitely giving it some texture. I can see here in the camera, it looks good. A lot of times when you're looking at things up close, as opposed to the camera, they have two different looks, but I like this. So now let's go to the other side. And again, we're back with the vintage photo. We're gonna give it a spritz. Now, since we know what it does, I am being a little bit more generous here. I am gonna have some water, kind of help this move around. And I'm gonna sit it up so that it doesn't puddle around the bottom of the bunny. I'm gonna take my paper towel and just tap lightly. And remember, this is hand done, so even though, you know, it's both sides and we're using the same product, they will not look the same. This bunny will not look the same on both sides. And that is another unique thing about it that I think will make it look good. Yeah, I definitely like that one. Makes me want to go back on the other side and add some more, honestly. But we'll see. Now let's pay a little bit more attention to this ear and the face. And I am just letting this stain or the spray, yeah, it's a spray stain, just do its thing. Really not trying to guide it too much, trying to let it settle where it wants to settle, and it's really picking up that detail in that bunny. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a dry on here. Just moving some around with my finger. I like that. What do you guys think? I think it's really bringing out that details, bringing that detail back. I think we need to put a little bit more on this side, right? And I am really being crazy with the water because we know what it's going to do now, so. And if you've been watching me, you already know that I'm going to go in and edge this piece, which will bring that stain out and that spray even more. I got some on my arm here. My hands are a mess. Hello, Moments with Celeste. Linda, did I say hello to you? Thank you for watching. I am going to get some clean paper towel because this pad is pretty saturated with the spray stain, so, and I don't want to keep sitting this bunny directly into it because then I will still have puddles on the bottom of it because of all of the stain that's on the pad. So that's one side. That's the other side. One is definitely more stained than the other. But again, as we were saying earlier, that all is in the beauty of handmade. So let let me just close up these stains. Let me look at some of our Distress Oxide inks. We have a Rusty Hinge here. I have Ground Espressos. And I know I also have a couple that are in kind of a pink family. Like Kitsch Flamingo is one. We also have some Waverly Antique Wax. If we feel like we want to add a little bit of that. Kitsch Flamingo is kind of bright. I don't think that that's going to work with that. Although it does give another shade of pink. It introduces another shade of pink into it. I don't think I want to go that route. Hello, Miss Mays. How are you? So let's look at the Ground Espresso. And I'm tempted to just go over it like I typically do. But I'm also thinking maybe use the brush tonight. Let's see. Let's go around this ear edge first. Let's see what it does there. Okay. Okay, I like that. That is bringing out that detail really, really nicely. So we're gonna go around this edge first. And then we'll bring some of this up onto the body. Okay. And we're just gonna hit those high points. I wonder if I do this, will that work that way? Yeah. Cute, cute, cute. I really, really like that. That is nice. What do you guys think? This feels like it's kind of wet. Let me just put a little bit more heat in it. Oh, thank you for those hearts. See if I can do that. That seems like it's defining that edge a little bit more, even though I don't like to do this with these stamp pads, but I do have 2 Ground Espressos, so if one gets messed up, then that's the one I'll be using to do this from now on. So thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Miss Fanny. This ear looks like it's still a little damp to me, so I'm just gonna wipe it back, and it was. And I'm gonna see if we can bring out some of that highlight with this. And I may get some pink paint on here because I feel like this side is not as dry as my other side was. You see we got a little bit of pink paint on here now. Now you see why I don't like to use my Distress Oxide pads for things like this. Especially when you're live, because when you're live, you're working pretty quickly. You don't dry things as thoroughly as you would if you weren't live. So you see I'm wiping some of this back even because I see it is not dry. And which means I'm gonna have to go in with that brown to try and help cover some of that up. Which won't be so bad because it is kind of like the middle of the bunny ear. But since I've done that, I probably need to do the same thing on the other side. Let me see. I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and add a little bit of pink paint here. Let me just do that. Just to kind of cover up some of that silver. And this is all trial and error for me, guys. I have not used these sprays or these pads on metal before. So some of it is chipping a little bit, but you know, that's all giving it character for me. Definitely feel like I need to go around this ear some more. And darken it a little bit, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing. I just need to stand it upright so I can get a good look at what's happening here. Yeah, so I think this is probably definitely gonna be out front. That's gonna be the back of him or her. But I do like how it's brought out that detail. I do have one other brown stamp pad. Give me a sec, let me see if I can get that. Let's see if this one is gonna make a difference. This is archival ink. All of my stamp pads are archival because I don't really want to take the time to do all of this and then have it rubbing off. So I try to get the ones that are archival, and I probably will spray seal this with some clear spray sealer just because I have put so much ink on it just to lock in that seal of the ink. But I like this. Got a little bit even on this pad. Don't like to mess up my stamp pads. Okay. So here is our bunny. I definitely like him better now that he's no longer all silver. He was cute when he was silver, but I wanted to see what else we could do with it. If we could zhuzh it up just a little bit. He was definitely cute on his own, which is rare. I think I got this from Dollar General. And I really don't find things in Dollar General or Dollar Tree that I look at and just like the whole thing. I always buy stuff with the mind of doing something different with it. But this one actually was pretty nice. I just wanted to see what I could do with the inks and the sprays to switch up the color a little bit. So let's throw this away. Get all this stuff off of the table. And let's look at making some sort of bow for him. Now I have this piece of ribbon that I think I'm going to use tonight, that I'm going to use to be the middle of my bow, where I normally use jute. And I have a bag with all types of colors in here that I think will work with this. Different types of materials, textures, some laces. So we're gonna try to make this really cute and girly. Let's see. What about this? It'll work. Okay. I don't know about this one because it's got some dots on it. Even though it's coffee stained, I don't think I want to use this piece. This is a little more lavender. So we're gonna make it not too big because, you know, it's gonna go across the bunny, but we don't want it to be completely overpowering the bunny. So, and we'll definitely cut our tails down and do all that assessment after we get this bow together. But I'm gonna try to keep my loops pretty small and not too big. Wondering, do I have enough to go twice? Let's see. Yeah, just enough. Might as well, rather than waste. Let's just go in twice. Got a little bit of lace here. First, let's on. This is yellow. I thought that was. No, we definitely don't want that. Okay. Here's another one that should work well. I'm going to cut that off, and if anything, we can add that in if we see an opportunity for it. So I'm just adding a bunch of colors that I think might blend well with this bunny. And if it doesn't work out as I have it planned in my head, then we just won't use the bow. We'll do something different. Okay. Let's cut that off. And then we have like this organza ribbons. So we'll put a little bit of that in there. And just see how she looks. And why not? Let's put him in here. It's got a lot of different texture in this bow. And I'm hoping that that works in our favor. I do have, I thought I had some of that Dollar Tree lace that we all buy when we see it. I got one little lonesome piece sitting there. And I have this, and then I also have this one. Let's see. Almost done. I think this will be the last piece that we add in, and then we'll see how it works. We're gonna pull this up. Let's tie it. And I'm gonna take it off. And you guys know I don't like that stacked look in the middle. So I'm going to put it down on the table and define my middle. and then begin to tighten. And because this is so thin, I'm gonna go around another time just to make sure that I don't tear this or pull it apart, I should say. I'm gonna tie here. I'm gonna press down in that middle. Really try to define that. And let me just double knot it. Okay. So that's our bow. And I'm thinking that it will look really cute right about there. I did not turn on the glue gun. That was bright. But since we have this here, let me think. Do we need to put something in the middle of our bow? I do have some pip berries. Maybe we can put a few of those in there. What do you guys think? Hi, Miss Fagan, how are you? I should have thrown those pip berries in the bowl when I was making it, but we didn't, so now I have to figure out how to put them in there without them looking like they're an afterthought. I think we'll just tie them in here in the front. I think I have some little hearts somewhere that we can put in the middle also of this bow. And maybe we can put a piece here in the back to have them coming out of the back. Let me see if I can get that in through here. That might not work. I'll figure it out. Let's put the bow on first. And then, where did I get the metal bunny? I think I got this in Dollar General, Miss Fanny. I think Dollar Tree and Dollar General usually have a lot of the same stuff, so I would check them both. I think that if it's in Dollar Tree, I think it's in the plus section though. I think it's like $3 and not necessarily the $1.25. Oh, this is too cute. Too cute. I'm gonna find my wood hearts and put a heart in there. And I think we might be good to go with this. I feel like this tail is a little bit too big, too wide. So I'm just gonna cut those strips now into 2 so that they don't feel so big and wide. But that is what we have for tonight, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you come back and watch me. And I hope you have a great rest of your night and a happy Saturday. And I will post pictures soon. Thank you so much. Here are some hearts from my heart to yours. Have a good night, everybody.